Okay, peoples, this is going to be the next patient for the bench. This here is a 1939 Silvertone model 6325. It is an 8 tube, 3 band with a spread band of 31 meters. It has broadcast regularly, the police band, and a foreign band, roughly 5.5 through 18, and then a spread band of 9.4 to 9.9 on the 31 meter. It's in relatively good structural shape. It does have its little ooches and ouches, ooies and gooies. But other than that, I'm surprised that the knobs are still on it, and the actuators for the band and the tone are still intact and not broken. The buttons all are in good shape. The bezel is I think a Bakelite. I don't know, it might be Tenite. It is going to need a little attention. Well, maybe a little more than a little. Hopefully not a lot. But I think we might be able to reshape this. It's pulled drastically from this corner, and it's dipped down. And the one thing that I don't like about these is they went and put a channel in like the airlines did, where the glass is slid into the channel from the top. With this thing shrunk up like it is, it's going to be a major challenge to get that glass out. So we might have to get jiggy with this thing and jig it up and stretch it. We'll have to see. It does have a little bit of oohing here, and up here we have a little cracking. This might be from impact or something. I noticed that down this 90-degree roll here, quarter roll, it's starting to get a little stress cracking here. It might have suffered a drop on this corner. The chipping out here is, I mean, it's not only lost it here, but it's going to lose it here too eventually. The top has already lost a fairly good strip of it down through here. That there is going to, what we're going to do is we're just going to strip it off and re-lam this. This is hardwood, both ends, so that's going to be easy fix. We do have a little separation right here on this veneer. Hopefully it's not, I mean, it's looking pretty thin there, but I think we might be able to get it, we might be able to salvage that. I don't want to, I really don't want to have to think about re-lamming this whole front and sides, because that's what would have to be done. Of course, it would only be down to here if we could manage getting it off without the the chinkies here being pulled loose at the same time. So the underside has a open bottom. One of the skiroos is missing. I think we might have one in my catch-all drawer. Solid metal base on the chassis. We got an opening. I don't know why this is so much open. Because there shouldn't be that much of a heat buildup in it, because the back is all perfed and there's large openings in it. So all it allows is for bugs and everything else to get in it. We'll have to see what we can do with that. All the rubber feet are done for. So let's turn this thing around. Take a look at the back side. Let me get that in over here. Okay. Got a lug for an external antenna. It does have an internal loop, the standard loop antenna that Silvertone is known for on a lot of their radios. Let me get the back off and we'll take a look. Okay, yeah, it's the same kind of a loop that they stuck in. Well, it's similar. This one here is just a innie and an outie. It's a 2-lug loop, along with an external connection for an external antenna. The 6421s, I think, had the innie and an outie with a tap on it. It had a 4-wire connection on the loop, but the loop is the same configuration. The stickers are intact, so that is going to be a plus, a big plus. I can produce reproductions from these. We will save these though, but I mean, we'll document them and get them recreated so that we can, anybody needs some we can do it. Okay, one tube loose as a goose looser. Eye tubes. This here is, I think, a power tube. No, an output tube. This is a transformerless set. It got quite the crank chinkas in there to make the changes on the bands. Good looking speaker. It ought to produce a good sound. Yeah, buck skeeter. Okay, everything else looks fairly good. So this one might be another great patient. Yeah, okay, so anyway, let me get this thing out and we'll take a good look at it. Alright, we got everything out. Look at them dust bunnies. Where's them Easter eggs, boys? Come on, you're slacking. Yeah, everything looks fairly good. Yeah, looks like they kind of mismounted the speaker a little bit. We got a little burn out there. So, a blowout. Hey, I guess somebody thought this was a gumball machine. We'll throw that in a lucky penny. Wait a minute. Hope. 1978? Yeah. I was hoping it was from 1940. Oh, hey. Look at that. A relic. Okay. Looks like he starved to death. So, anyway, cabinet is done. Yeah. Well done. I went ahead and took the liberty of pulling the cover, the blank off the chassis so we can take a good look at it. 6U5 is supposed to be I-tube. We'll get it checked out later. First, we're going to have to do some surgery on this, unless I want to light myself up and everything else around me. All the tubes appear to be there. It looks like a really high mileage set, because we got a lot of scummy stuff on the tubes. All these resistors, they sure use a lot of them, man. That's tapped. That's taps. It's like a cannot ohm. The dial looks pretty good shape, nice and clear. We'll give it a little brushing up. Wow, I wonder if they had an automotive designer on their team. Look at the gears. What, no timing belt? Underneath. It's untouched. We got a speedometer cable. Oh, another tapped resistor. Boy, they must supercharge this thing. I see a flex resistor in there. Back in there. A lot of tape. This looks like original capacitors. I think there's supposed to be 4 in this set. There's 2. Yeah. And here's Here's three. Three. Here's two. There's five? I'll have to look at the schematic. Ooh, this one's going to be a major challenge. They got a wafer switch here and a wafer switch there, back to back, with a steel framework on it that's riveted, that the shaft goes through the coils. We'll have to take a real close look at that. I'm guessing there's a good chance of getting it extracted and sub-assemblies, and hopefully it's not too complex. So we'll take a look at this. We'll get a checkout video on it as soon as we can. So anyway, this is going to be the next item to hit the bench. We're going to try and wind up the clipper radio for the Texas Man today. No, I gotta wait for them stinking tubes this week. Let's put it that way. In the meantime, we're going to shelve everything and make room for this one. So thanks for watching. All right, we're in the torture chamber, and we're checking out this chassis for the Silvertone 6325, and trying to get a feel for anything that is done to this prior. And I believe that this cap is not an original cap. It's been it's a replacement. Well, it would appear to be a replacement, but it was riveted on with in the same style as all the other riveted components. But they used a two-section cap as a one-section cap. Both leads of that cap are these red leads, and they go to 1 point. So that is one cap. There are 3 caps in this housing. So there are 2 30s and a 20, 2 30s and a 25 in the other. And they all check out, and they are going to the proper connection points. And why this was done this way, who knows? It's in the history books. And trouble is, I haven't got a copy. So anyway, we've got those validated, and we double checked on the connection points. This is a little similar to the other Silvertone that's sitting on the shelf, the 6120, and a couple of other chassis that are similar in nature, in that they use a power two-section power resistor for the connections to the lamps and to the plates of the rectifier. One thing that throws me a curve, though, which leads me to believe somebody has gone in here and adapted this thing or did a mod to it, is that all these power resistors, there's 3 of them that are all similar. I'm thinking that they used these 3 to make up the 2 that are shown on the schematic. The original candle might have been bad, one or both sides, and the only way they could manage getting it, and they got it pretty close too. I get 64 ohms across one connection, across the ends of 2 of these, and I get 49 ohms across the others on this one. That wire there and that wire there go to the lamps. So if you looked at that, here are the lamps, they go across that, and it shows 48 ohms. Well, they came up with 49. This other side shows 68 ohms, and it ties to both plates here, goes out to the plug, which they came up with 69. So they just about hit it right on the head with the values to get the values for two original resistors of those values with three resistors that they had. Because I know this can't be original. And besides, the hole here and maybe the hole underneath here or somewhere underneath here, it looks like an outline of a candle that originally was in there. I'm sure that these here are a replacement. So we're getting ready to put a terminal strip in to house all the new replacements, the new recruits, and we're going to get it all connected up, and we'll double check a couple of other things before we power up this thing. We've got the original cord all gotten rid of. That there's supposed to be a safety cap. That's across the line cap. We'll replace that also while we're there. And we'll see you on the next section of this checkout video. So stay tuned. Oh yeah, I just remembered that is not an original. The cap that was original in there was they snipped the original band on it. This is the one that I took off. That one there was soldered onto this mount right here in order to get it to stay in there and stay affixed to something. So that is a replacement. And then they changed these out and added these in to get what they needed. Everything else looks the same. So my bad originally. See you on the next segment.